Wuthering Waves has taken over the United States. Kuro Games, the developer for Wuthering Waves, is confident in its success. Interest has grown rapidly over the past few weeks as Kuro ramps up their marketing and advertising efforts prior to release. Kuro has accomplished this in the gacha space despite losing many of its potential content creators to Hoyoverse's predatory preferred creator contracts, which legally do not allow them to create promotional material for Wuthering Waves or any potential competitor to Hoyoverse games, under the threat of fines up to $500,000. My name is Saint Tontus, and I'm here to take you on a journey to find out what exactly Kuro has been going up against these past few years. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. In their most recent marketing venture, Kuro Games literally took over Times Square, shining the spotlight on the entire roster while highlighting gameplay and cutscenes. This isn't the only place where Kuro is bringing Wuthering Waves to life. Kuro is actually sending the two main characters, or rovers, across the United States, generating hype for the release through fantastic costume design, cinematic photos, and clever references to the game itself. You don't commit to marketing like this unless you believe in your game, and Kuro is making sure to address some of the doubts expressed by testers from the last closed beta tests, focused on a lack of story direction, polish, and voice acting. On the official Wuthering Waves YouTube page, you'll find character or resonator introductions and voice work by the actors. These showcases are long, diving into the day-to-day lives of the resonators while also focusing on some of the key aspects of their gameplay. The voice work that we've seen so far is very high quality and fits the thematic design of the characters well.
Gian of the Midnight Rangers, protecting our lands and people is my solemn duty. Should you encounter any difficulties here, I will do my utmost to help.
Jinjo Patroller Chisha, you can always call on me if you ever find yourself in a pickle.
Well, if it isn't my loyal patron, what do you wish to inquire about today?
What's odd here is the delay between each resonator showcase. Understanding the public knowledge that localization has been working overtime to finish production for Wuthering Waves, these delays make sense, but also make Kuro Games appear incompetent as developers. Is it really their fault though? Looking at the roster, it's quite strange that we're seeing so few names that we're traditionally familiar with in the gacha and anime space. Big names like Brianna Knickerbocker, Damon Mills, and Caleb Yen are surprisingly absent despite previous involvement in many gacha titles. One of those titles, ironically enough, includes Punishing Gray Raven. Coincidence or not, all of these big-ticket VAs are nowhere to be found. This becomes even more questionable knowing that Skylar Davenport, the voice actor for March 7th from Hoyoverse's turn-based strategy game Honkai Star Rail, and also the voice of Bianca from Punishing Gray Raven, was the original voice for Yang Yang in the earliest closed beta test. In the current state of the game, her VA is Rebecca Yo. Skylar Davenport is a talented actress that has historically delivered in her previous role with Kuro Games. Why would Kuro Games replace a tenured VA for their largest budget game with a VA that has only had one role prior over 2 years ago? How much dialogue had to be rewritten to accommodate for new VAs? It's clear that something is going on behind the scenes. Were the delays in the English dub for the Wuthering Waves CBT caused by even more anti-compete agreements by Hoyoverse behind the scenes with its VA contractors? This is a disturbing trend that Hoyoverse is actively developing within the gacha space and video games as a whole. The ability to deny resources and talent to your competitors through predatory employment agreements is dangerous. Will anime publishers soon start taking inspiration from Hoyoverse's practices and prevent English VAs from dubbing an anime series that competes with one of their existing titles? The main audience hurt at the end of the day are the consumers. Antitrust is a thing for a reason. Wuthering Waves faces many struggles and obstacles in its marketing because of Hoyoverse's morally questionable practices. Their success in monopolizing some of the most important aspects of a game's longevity and appeal should be a massive cause for concern within the gacha community. It's abundantly clear that Hoyo has made active attempts to sabotage Wuthering Waves' closed beta test and first impressions, restricting voice actors at the most inopportune times, likely the direct cause for the lack of English dub in the most recent CBT. It would be very convenient if a contract from a signed Hoyoverse VA was leaked in the coming weeks. I think we'd find some shocking similarities with the previous ZZZ contracts given to preferred content creators. Would a tenured company like Kuro Games, with years of experience developing gacha games, compounded with the learnings from past predecessors, release a CBT with no English dub, unless their hand was forced, when their earliest CBT had English voice work?
Their calumet arrived without a sign. What is dead will stay buried. Except nothing ever truly dies.
They are not amateurs. This game deserves our attention. Not because it's an incredibly engaging, immersive action RPG with fantastic progression systems, but because this is a game that has been set up to fail by the biggest bully in the industry. Humans naturally gravitate towards the underdog. That's why David wins. Kuro Games is a company that has already earned our support. Just listen to your human nature.